Hello, I'm Jackie. I am a health coach with UK Health and Wellness, and I am a tobacco treatment specialist. I am also a yoga teacher, and this topic, awakening your inner nurture, is probably one of the most popular um, topics that I cover in my coaching and just me personally. So I'm excited to talk to you about it today. I think that it's really close to my heart because I also am human. And just like you, we have so much pressure in our lives. And it's so easy for us to hear the negative, the critic. So I'm hoping today you're going to learn more about the inner nurture. So this is our outline for the day. We're going to learn about the inner nurture. We're going to learn about the critic versus the nurture, the benefits of growing your inner nurture, creating your internal caring committee, which is really super fun, um, and paying attention to what it feels like to be cared for. And then, of course, I will give you all of our wellness resources to help you along the way. So, the inner nurture is maybe a concept that you've not ever thought of, but if you think of two parts of you, one is the critic, which we already know a lot about, and the other is the inner nurture. It is the part of our psyche that includes knowing how to self soothe, how to protect ourselves, encouraging ourselves in positive thoughts, praising ourselves when we do things well, and holding on to that sense of inspiration that exists inside us. I love to use the voice of love, and turning up the volume on the voice of love and compassion is something that I say all the time. And I'm hoping that after this session, you will be able to access the voice of love and know if your volume's turned up or not. We are constantly battling between the critic and the nurture. The critic is usually the loudest, has tons of negative, shame-based uh, thoughts and words that come into our minds. And it is usually something that tangles us up and really kind of makes us feel defeated. The nurture, however, is the opposite. It's the positivity, the accepting of ourselves, accepting of the things that we do and the choices that we make, with lots of compassion. And when we do that, we exude so much power, our own authentic power. One of the great things about the nurture is when we show up feeling nurtured ourselves, we also allow others to have the space to feel nurtured also. I think that has so much power. And all of this information that I'm talking about today is based on Rick Hanson's research. He's done a lot of research on the critic and the nurture. And the important difference is that the critic isn't always bad and the nurturer isn't probably always good. The critic is constantly negative and a protector in some ways. It also keeps us safe. It tells us, well, don't do that again because you might get hurt. That's okay. And the nurture could be too lax and let everything kind of go. So finding the balance and knowing your own boundaries and limits is one thing to make sure that this is a healthy combination here. But normally, the critic is loud. The critic defeats us and has so much power. So today, I am going to help you figure out how to grow the nurture, to know that that exists in you, that it exists in all of us. The benefits of growing your inner nurture, you probably already know this, but I'm hoping that you're just going to give yourself some permission to really let this sink in. Emotionally, When we have our inner nurturer as our best friend, we feel cared for. When we know and trust ourselves, we have more peace. When we are feeling cared for and nurtured and accepting, we feel like our needs are met. All of us every day are walking around trying to get our needs met. And we can't always find our needs, we can't always find the answers outside of us. A lot of times it's just within. If we have something terribly disappointing, something very scary or very hurtful that happens to us, if we have these tools and we can really tap into our inner nurturer, we can soften the disappointment. We can soften the reaction and the response to whatever just happened. Physically, we feel less fear and anxiety. As humans, we are constantly afraid. We are constantly on high alert. We were not made for that. We were made to be on high alert when a tiger chases us, not all day, every day in our jobs. So when we have the inner nurturer can speak to us like, you need a break, you need a massage, you need quiet time, and allowing yourself to get those things. And when you do, you have more energy, you have more space for being more creative. In this same realm, you can trust your internal resources. You can trust that when you need more sleep, that you can set your life up to get more sleep. You can trust that when you're feeling sad, that you just need a moment to sit in your sadness, and it's okay. When you are really in tune with what you need, with how to protect and nurture and grow your internal resources, you have the courage to be who you are. This is a diagram of how you could set up your own internal caring committee. Before you think about the internal caring committee, take a moment, maybe even close your eyes and take a few breaths. I'm going to do it also. So just close your eyes, take a few breaths. And then open the eyes and just think of a time where you felt really cared for. It could be something when you were a child in your grandmother's kitchen, or from a parent, from a loved one, from an animal. It doesn't have to be any set way that you feel cared for. However you feel cared for. You know those feelings. You felt warm, you felt safe, you felt like you belonged, you felt connected. Those are all the best feelings to have. So we can't always go and do something or be with somebody or go somewhere to feel cared for. We sometimes only have ourselves to tap into our internal resources to feel cared for. And so for me, I put a heart in the middle because in my heart, I know what I need to care for myself. One is I need to be around my family. I have 2 teenagers. I love going places with them. I love doing things with them. I love being with my extended family. I love making memories, going to new places, hiking, and doing yoga is probably my favorite thing in the world. But not only just doing yoga, it is my teachers, my mentors, all the classes and the trainings that I've had have really helped me tune into my own caring committee. I also tap into my spiritual practice. Now, your spiritual practice could be anything. I'm not trying to sway anybody one way or another. I love to read inspirational devotions. I love to pray. I love to be around people who are also spiritually fed, and that feeds me. So if you could think for just a second about what your caring committee might look like, that might be the first way for you to think about the next time something happens where you feel like the critic, or something has happened where you just feel tangled up and you can't get that sense of peace and stability. You can think about the caring committee that you have internally to tap into. Feeling cared for. I am so excited to bring forward this information because I am really, let's see, what's the word? I'm really passionate about choosing healthy ways to feel cared for. One is to really listen to your own heart's desires, living for exactly what you want and not what others want. Recognizing the feelings of being cared for. A lot of times what I do is, if something really stressful or hard just happened in my life, I take my hands on my heart, I go outside, and I take a deep breath and I say to myself, Jackie, it's okay that you thought this way. It's okay that you reacted this way. You just needed compassion. You needed to feel needed. You needed to feel loved. It's no wonder why you did that or said that. And just sitting with acceptance for your life, the choices, the environment that you're in. Creating roles for your caring committee to support you. And rituals that feel life-giving. One of the things that I love to do, I love full moons. So I go out on a full moon and I might burn a prayer list, or just sit at the full moon and enjoy just being connected to all of nature. Allowing yourself to be authentic. And when I say authentic, I mean doing things that you really want to do, not doing things because you think you should do them or that other people think you should do. And making the best of the moment. Every moment that we have is the only moment we have. And wanting it to be different causes harm and suffering to ourselves. So being in the moment brings so much more peace. And if there's one thing that I say over and over and over again, is turn up the volume of love. Turn up the positivity, the encouragement, the compassion, the acceptance, and the forgiveness for you, for what you're trying to accomplish in your life, because I'm sure you're trying to accomplish something totally awesome. And turning down the volume of the critic. And when I say that, I mean turning it down and being aware of it also, because it's there to protect you. If you feel like the volume is turned up on the voice of love, and you feel more energetic, you feel more creative, you feel like you have more connections and ability to be authentic, that's when you know you're really nurturing yourself. And when you can be kind to yourself. When you are kind to yourself, you are allowing others to be kind to themselves also. And I am so thankful for that statement in itself. When you are feeling like you might need some extra help or support, I am so excited to talk to you more about the Inner Nurture, or explain any other resources that we have with UK Health and Wellness. The ones that I have listed here are health coaching, which is a one-on-one meeting to talk about anything that's happening with your health, things that you want to know that can happen that are in the future, possibilities that can happen in your health. And the Be Well consult is literally just a time to sit and maybe just evaluate where you are and where you want to be. If you are interested in the Be Well practice group, Amy does a fantastic job on a weekly basis with amazing topics that will literally change your life, change the way you think. And then if you're using tobacco and you're interested in quitting, I am the tobacco treatment specialist and I am happy to help you. if you look below all of that, you see our website, and we are really, really excited and hope you tap into our resources. The next presentation is The Resilient Caregiver, and Terry Weber is going to be giving that presentation on August 8th at 12:15. Now, I am going to open this up for questions. Does anybody have any questions? Oh, if you have questions, you can use the chat box. Sorry. I don't see any questions. Okay. Do I know if there's any resources offered to UK employees as a discount? Oh, acupuncture massage. Okay. Great, awesome question. The question was, do UK employees have access to massage, acupuncture, and other services? And the answer is yes. Through Integrative Health Department, Integrative Medicine, you can go get an appointment for acupuncture and massage therapy. Whether it's a discount, I'm not sure. But if you want to email us, I can send you the information. I have another question here about, and this is such a great question. This is probably why I did this presentation, is can people become dependent on external nurturing? And really, I didn't focus on that, but I believe that the intent of this presentation is to allow people to find their internal peace and internal nurturing outside of shopping, unhealthy relationships, and unhealthy habits, because that is one way that people think they're nurturing themselves, and it is a short-term, I guess, help, but it's not long-term. And that's kind of why I wanted to bring forward this information. And if it feels really foreign to you, I would be happy to talk to you in detail about how you can really access your own inner nurture. Thank you for that question, Todd. What is the email? Oh, good. Thank you. There's my email, jacqueline.hansen@uky.edu. And so examples of nurturing ourselves. Someone asked the question, what are the examples of nurturing ourselves? And that's a great question. I guess this is something that I do is I go out in nature. I love hiking. I know that nurtures me. I do a lot of yoga. I do a lot of prayer and spiritual practices. I try to do things with my friends. I do things that literally tap into what brings me joy. So I guess the answer to your question, Judy, would be that when you really sit and think about the things that make you feel cared for, make you feel peaceful, make you feel safe and comfortable, when you do more of those things, then you would feel more nurtured. The one thing that okay, and then another person just asked a really great question too. How do you balance meeting the needs of others and meeting your own without compromising either? And that's the $1 million question. When we care for ourselves, we have access to caring for others. When someone who wants to take care of themselves only and forget about others, obviously that doesn't flow very well. Knowing that you do need to take care of yourself in order to take care of others is like giving yourself permission to do that in a really awesome way. I think that when you think about compromising others, it's as though we feel selfish by nurturing ourselves, when really it's about having self-care as the target. Um, and I had another question about how to balance the demands of nurturing others versus demands of nurturing ourselves. I think that I'm a single mom, so I know how hard it is to work full time, to care for kids, maybe even care for a parent. And the thing that I have found the most, and this is why I'm doing this presentation, is that we as humans cannot not live our life struggling all day, every day. We have to do things that make us happy, that make us feel comfortable, that bring us joy. And we have to know that internally, we have to be okay with just being by ourselves, like not always needing something from someone else. And I think that nurturing others comes from being able to nurture ourselves. And when I see the question about how to balance it, there's no right or wrong. It is what feels right to you. I mean, as a mom, there are days when I tell my kids, I have my yoga training or I'm doing this, and they're disappointed at the moment, but they don't understand that. And I tell them this: when I can care for myself, I'm a better mom. I have more patience. I have more creativity. I can help you more. I can be with you. I can be present with you when I feel more settled. Is that any more questions? I think I answered them all. How do you balance the demands? I think that's it. Thank you all. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the day. Take good care of yourself.